Got another guest coming on now. I've got Kugan.
Why did you give me a 1 o'clock in the morning slot?
I know you go to bed late.
It's true. Do you know
you go to bed late, innit? I know that.
All right, Robbie, right? Do you know what I saw today? I'm going to try and show you this, yeah? Look at this.
Right. What's that? MVP.
MVP.
Tell them about MVP. For people who don't know what MVP was.
MVP was mine and Robbie's joint venture back in 2009 in Luton.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, we had some good nights at MVP as well. So
yeah,
didn't last that long. But yeah, Miss MVP. Remember the competition we run to find the best looking girl in Luton?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember that event. We used to keep all those events, and the funny thing is about it, right? I always tell people the story when people always ask me about tell us how you started the channel. Kugan, in case you guys don't know, I'm sure you all do know, but Kugan runs the biggest boxing channel around, IFL TV, and Kugan also a massive Arsenal fan, and me and Kugan known each other for a very long time. We used to go to Highbury together and stuff like that. And I remember going up to Kugan and saying, Kugan, I go, you know what? I want to start like a football thing, man. Do you reckon this could work? Do you reckon? I was actually pinning my hopes on it, right, coming in, because I didn't know nothing about filming or editing or nothing. But obviously he was really busy doing his channel. His channel was blowing up at the time. But I kind of got the inspiration to do AFTV off of seeing what you were doing with boxing. And it was absolutely brilliant. And you're still, how many years now you've been doing this?
10 years in October.
10 years.
You're
wow.
Not behind. What, you must be 8 years this year.
Yeah. This year will be 8 years. Yeah. And, you know, I used to see this guy. I used to see his work rate. I used to see the fact that, you know, with no funds, he started his thing. He started going to all these boxing fights. He's got the gift of the gab. So he started getting all the boxers to talk to him and stuff like that. And I've seen how your thing's grown and how now you are now an essential part of any big boxing show, fight. They've got to come and speak to you. I mean, you're lucky because, you know, unfortunately, we footballers don't talk to the sort of chat, not the way the boxers talk to you. I mean, you've got the trust of the boxers, haven't you?
Well, I hope so, after 10 years. But yeah, it has been a long process. I don't know if you remember, you probably will remember, but when I started doing that, we went and filmed the little transfer talk thing me and you did outside the Emirates.
Yes.
And it's still on our channel. It was like we just had that idea of going and talking about the latest transfer activities.
Yes.
Which is still on the channel. And I think we were both a little bit heavier back then as well.
Yeah.
The video probably...
And the first video, like the first video on our channel was you was interviewing your cousin because that was the game when Arsenal played Reading
game, yeah.
Yeah, and your cousin was pictured walking out at half. Well, he didn't walk out at half time, but the newspapers put that he'd left at half time and missed all the goals in the second half, and you was interviewing him and he was putting that right.
Yeah, because I interviewed him. I said to when you told me about the idea, I said, "Oh, why don't we do this as the first video?" So I went to his house in the back of his garden on my phone,
right.
Filmed him talking about it on the phone. So the very first video on AFTV, is that with me.
It is that, lad. So you know, but trust me, your channel, man, is unbelievable, unbelievable what you've done with that channel.
Thanks.
Don't try to be all modest about it either. You know? It is, and I mean, like even like you cover all the big fights now. You always are. I mean, the fight that must have been unbelievable for you must have been covering the Tyson Fury one the other day. I mean, I think most people were shocked at the way he won that so easily. I mean, he was brilliant, and I know that you've sort of been following Tyson Fury right from the beginning. You've been following, and I remember you telling me about Anthony Joshua when he was, I think he was going to the Olympics or something.
Yeah, I think that was the first time I interviewed Anthony Joshua was in 2000 and I think it was 11. Yeah, it was the year before the Olympics.
Yeah.
This is where, yeah, so that was, I think it was about 8 months before the Olympics at the start of 2000, maybe the back end of 2011, start of 2012. The Olympics was in 2012, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's turned into a huge star now. Tyson Fury, yeah, been covering him since 2011 as well. So,
yeah,
all the kind of fighters, a lot of fighters have kind of even turned pro and retired in that 10-year spell as well. A lot of fighters that we were covering at the early start of their career have now kind of finished their careers now as well. So,
wow. Wow, and those fighters, to see how far they've come, it must be, and you've been part of their journey. That must be incredible, isn't it? You know, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, now the two biggest names in the world of boxing.
You remember, obviously, in the early days that you used to come with me to some of the shows and the press conferences.
Yes.
And your brother, Laurie, used to come with me on all these away trips, like when Bellew fought Cleverly. Yeah. Laurie came with me, like all these away trips back in like 2011, 2012. Yeah, your brother or you used to come with me.
It was amazing. Listen, what you've done is amazing, man. What have you made of Arsenal this season? I know, obviously, you're mega Arsenal fan. Season ticket holder. What have you thought of it?
It's been better this year, but what's better? You know, it's like what we're settling for at the moment. Are we settling for, you know, the position we're in? And listen, we were going to Arsenal and we were blessed and we were spoilt in a way that we were following Arsenal through 2 or 3 of the best teams that have ever featured in the Premier League. The team of 97, 98, the team 2002, 2003, and then the unbeatables, obviously the Invincibles. We were in that period, but that was what 16 years ago now. There's been no league title win at Arsenal. We're not even making top 4 now. So what we're satisfied with now, you know, I asked and been through all that.
Yeah, I asked this question the other day. I can't remember who it was too, but I said to him, "Was it worth leaving Highbury?"
I think they had to leave Highbury at the time. It's easy to say, isn't it? I mean, they had to leave. They'd outgrown Highbury. I don't necessarily think that was the major problem. I think kind of football kind of developed and everyone caught up with kind of what Wenger was doing. Wenger wasn't the only manager in the Premier League that was signing all these kids and turning them into superstars, because that was Wenger's thing, and he did it with loads of players. But then the Premier League becomes stronger and everyone started doing it. And then obviously the influx of chucking money at a club ultimately paid off for Chelsea, paid off for City. It paid off for a lot of teams. And Arsenal really didn't compete with all that. You know, you got to think, you know, I remember when we signed Mesut Ozil for 40 million and we was thinking, what? It come out of the blue and was thinking, we've got 40 million to spend on a player. It was crazy to think that. It's been slightly more optimistic since January. I think since that Man United win they had at the start of the year, it has been slightly more optimistic, conceding a few less goals, but that seems like a distant memory ago now. I mean, it was mad to think the Man City game, we were going to the Man City game, and then it got called off because of the interaction someone had with someone from the Olympiacos team or coronavirus. No one thought it was a big thing then, or didn't think it was going to be as big a thing as it has turned out to be.
Yeah, and now it's just absolute nightmare. I mean, Kugan, I'm going to have to get you, because I've got another guest about to drop in, but let me just ask you this, right? Is that fight, and I know you've got the air with the 2 big promoters in Frank Warren and the Hearns, will we see that fight? Once this is all over, this coronavirus stuff and that, will we see that fight, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua? We can see that.
We will see it, because the fight's too big not to happen. But I don't think we'll see it this year, because obviously the situation we're in currently, we don't even know when boxing is going to return again. But a lot has to happen for that fight to happen this year, because obviously Tyson Fury is fighting Deontay Wilder. Anthony Joshua's mandated to fight Kubrat Pulev. They would both have to step aside for that fight to happen this year. I don't see that happening this year. Definitely, if both have got the 4 belts going into 2021, it will definitely happen next year, 100%.
All right, brilliant. Well, listen, Kugan, thanks for coming on, mate. Sorry I kept you up this late. We're smashing that figure, 11,057. Brilliant what we've raised so far. And Kugan, thank you for reminding me of that MVP.
Don't ever forget MVP. It's what brought you to where you are now. Remember
Trust me, man. Trust me. And there was a lot of... we wouldn't even get into some of the things that went on around. I remember me and you...
I'm still looking for him now. He's probably watching now. He's probably watching. T, if you're watching, you fucking owe some money, mate. All right? You owe some money, bruv.
We're never going to get that money back, mate. Trust me. That's
that money's gone.
Take care, man. Take care.
Well done. Good thing you're doing here, all right?
Thanks a lot, Kugan, mate. Thanks a lot. That's Kugan there.